What's the buzzword of the day? Tariffs. And are tariffs really going to help the economy or quietly strangle and kill the middle class? We see what the stock market's doing. It appears like it's one political disaster. And what if I told you the president's tariff policy that he is enacting is actually going to increase inflation, not decrease? You see, it's been a lot of information out there about tariffs, what they are, how they're going to affect us, how they're going to hurt us. And yes, it's hurting us today. They're not even enacted. So we're going to go specifically on what a tariff is, how it's hurting us while the market's down, and if anything can be done to stop this foolishness. Before we get started, as always, like, subscribe, share to our channel. In real life, I'm a certified financial planner. On these social media airwaves, we're giving information to help us grow and transform our finances. Lego. So as we get into the conversation of tariffs, we first have to understand what exactly is a tariff. A tariff is a tax imposed by a government or imported goods and services. The goal of a tariff to make foreign products more expensive. So people are more likely to buy domestic alternatives and do their manufacturing in their own country. It's a way to protect local industries, punish unfair trade, and raise domestic revenue. So on the surface, it seems like it's a good idea. But we have something called AI, artificial intelligence, robots, and those manufacturing jobs that you would think tariffs will bring back to the US, they're not coming back. Robots are right now doing 5% of the world's labor. You think that's going to increase in 5 years or decrease? And when it comes to bringing back jobs, it's not like you snap your finger and a warehouse is created. It's building, lumber, steel, breaking foundation, getting permits, government bureaucracy to build something, hiring people. Immigrants are not here as much as they used to. So who is going to work to do that job? All those decisions makes it look like tariffs is a bad decision. We can't just look up and have a manufacturing plant done. It takes years to build. It takes years to implement. By then, robots won't be doing 5% of the jobs. They'll be doing 30, 40%. So the thought by the administration is that those jobs are coming back. That is a blinded look on the future because those jobs ain't coming back. The jobs that people are doing right now in sweatshops in Vietnam and in China, nobody in America is going to do those jobs. You see, a company has the less of two evils to decide what to do. Number one, we pay a person 14 cents an hour in China to manufacture products, or we manufacturing those goods and services here and pay a union person $40, $50 an hour. Now, morally, yes, paying a person here in America more money helps the economy and helps the everyday worker. But you think companies are looking at things morally? No. The number one job as a CEO of a company is to increase the market share and raise the value of their stock, which means if they are going to pay a person 14 cents and pay a 40% tariff, it is still less money than hiring that union worker. Not saying it's right, but that is going on right now. So a tariff that is a tax on you, the consumer, on the company, is not going to change anything when it comes to bringing jobs back here to America. So what is the history of tariffs and how do we get to this point? Well, here in the US, we introduced tariffs during the Great Recession in the 1930s. It was the Smoot and Haley Tariff Act. We raised tariffs on 20,000 goods during the Great Depression, and we actually caused retaliatory tariffs, global trade war, and we actually worsened our depression. Yes, the Great Depression got worse because we wanted to find a way to bring in more income, and that was from doing tariffs on imports that came here. But that raised the cost of things and it made a depression in some eyes last 3 to 5 years longer than what it should have. Tariffs were stopped in their tracks after the Great Depression until President Trump got elected and he imposed tariffs in 2018. See, in 2018, he put tariffs on steel, aluminum, washing machines, solar panels. Major focus was to get at China, even though he made his ties and his clothing line all made in China. He believed since he was doing it, he saw a pathway to bring money back to the US. So he tariffed China over 360 billion to be exact of Chinese goods were then taxed. He did that to reduce the trade deficit and bring jobs back here to America. Did it work? It did not at all. It was actually an epic failure. Our economy started to slip and decline in late 2019. We had to bail out the farmers because of soybean restrictions from tariffs, to the point that we were paying farmers not to even do crops because it cost them more money to do crops than not do crops in the year 2019. But then we had COVID, and COVID made things worse from an economic standpoint, but it made things better because we printed the most money in 3 months we ever printed in our nation's history. And interest rates went down to zero. So spending money and printing money washed over the tariff war that was created in 2018. You see, if it's not for COVID, who knows how bad the economy would have went in a downturn. So for President Trump, COVID was a great thing. Maybe not good for him in re-election, but it was a great thing for him politically because it allowed him to be reelected in 2024 due to the tariffs that happened in 2018 and 2019 and all the money we printed in the year 2020 due to COVID. And today, tariffs reared its ugly head. Still strategically trying to put tariffs on companies. Retaliatory tariffs, meaning that if you give us a tariff, we're going to tariff you back. But trade is different now because we have free and fair trade. And those jobs that individuals are doing in Indonesia, in Vietnam, in Venezuela, an American won't do. And they definitely won't do it for pennies on a dollar. So then tariffs hurt us as the middle class. A study was shown that the middle class, 85% of Americans, will be the ones that suffer the most because of tariffs. The rich, the wealthy, and the elite, they're able to buy up assets at a lower price. The regular, everyday people like me and you, we suffer. First, we have higher prices. What was easy math? Let's say we have Walmart. And we're going to call this the Walmart tariffs. You see, with Walmart, let's say, for instance, it cost them $10 to buy a Monopoly board. We all love Monopoly, but it costs Walmart $10 to buy one Monopoly board. Well, now they turn around and sell that same Monopoly board to us as the consumers for $18. That's an 80% profit margin. They spend 10, they sell it for 18, they made 80%. And their stock, because of it, goes up. But with the tariffs, that throws a monkey wrench in the whole financial system. And this is why. Now, that same Monopoly board doesn't cost $10 anymore. Now it costs $22 because of the tariff that we put on China, and now the tariff, the retaliatory tariff that China puts on us. Was Walmart now making money or losing money before they sell any product? Then that same board is sold to us, the consumer, not for $18 anymore. No, it's for $32. So Both sides of the US economy is losing. Walmart, yes, they had that profit margin, is not 80% anymore. Us as the consumer to buy a Monopoly board, now we got to pay $32 when it used to cost 18. So when we walk into that Walmart store and we got $200 to spend, it used to be where we spend $100 on groceries, the other $100, shoes, belts, accessories, bike. Now, with that same $200, we're not doing any extra spending. Walmart is now losing money. Their stock goes down because of tariffs. Us as a consumer, we can't consume like we want to. It takes more money to buy the same things, so our pocket share goes down. This is why tariffs are bad for the economy. This is why the stock market is down by 15% over a week and a half, the worst decrease in over 20 years because of the tariffs. If it was the 1930s, it was a bad idea. And in the year 2025, it is an even worse idea. So, what does that mean for our bottom line? Well, for the everyday long term investor, a person not needing to touch their money for 1 year or longer, you selling something at a 15% loss tied to the stock market, worst financial decision you can make. Last time the market went down by 12% this quickly, March 2020, when everything shut down because of COVID. $100,000 went to 88,000. But 4 months later, the market recovered and that 88,000 went up to 112, meaning in 4 months I went from 100,000 to 112,000 in the S&P 500 index fund. Will it take 4 months for things to recover? We don't know. We do know the market will recover eventually. We also know the president at the drop of a dime can say, I'm stopping this for 90 days to reopen up negotiations. I've showed you guys I mean business. And once that happens, the market is going to skyrocket because of it. Before the tariffs got into place, unemployment kept on going down. Inflation was steady and we were adding more jobs, meaning the economy was in good standing. Now we're seeing cracks in the foundation because of these tariffs. Stay in the market. If you have more money to invest, slowly but surely put money in because we don't know the next time we're going to have a 15% down week and a half. When we do, over time, we should make money because of it. Stay vigilant, stay prayed up, do what you can to stay invested. And that tariffs that's going on, let's pray this stops. As always, like, subscribe, share to our channel as we hit 1,000 followers on YouTube. Follow your boy, hit that notification bell as we're here to give you information and empower your finances. Let's make some painful, right now it's painful, or eventually painless profits together, y'all. Peace.